I'm excited. It is here, and sooner than I expected it. This is the Helios 16 and 18 with Intel's 14th generation processor, and I thought that might be the only upgrade, but they also made the design better again. How, you ask? RGB. So the biggest news here is Intel's new Raptor Lake refresh chips. No new name this time, and as I'm filming this, the only information out so far is which chips are going to be announced and their core count. It is early days so far in terms of information from Intel. I do know that in the Helios 16, the smaller version of this, and the 18, you'll have the option of an i7-14700HX with a boost clock of up to 5.4 GHz, which is higher than last year's generation, and it's also capable of overclocking. Also really cool too, it uses their hybrid architecture with P and E cores. So this i7 comes with 8 P cores and 12 E cores. So that's 20 total and 4 more than last year. I feel like Dudley from Harry Potter. But that is actually quite a big upgrade in the i7 department, which makes me kind of want to compare this year's i7 model to last year's, maybe in last year's Helios. There's also the option of an i9-14900HX processor, again with an increased turbo clock of 5.7 versus the 5.4 in last gen, capable of overclocking and with a staggering 24 cores as per last gen too, no extra cores here. I think 24 was probably enough, but yeah, really powerful options. And you'll be able to pair that with NVIDIA's 40 series cards up to a 4080 with 12 GB of memory in the slightly smaller 16-inch version, or a 4090 with 16 GB of memory in the beastly 18-inch, which is what I have here. It is quite large. I like this one. This is just a treat for the eyes, but I am a little bit blind, so I think I need all the help I can get. Both of the screens are gorgeous. They both have a 2.5K resolution, 100% coverage of DCI-P3 for amazing color coverage, and that really nice 16:10 aspect ratio, just nice and big to get fully immersed. And the option of having mini LEDs with a 250 Hz refresh rate, which is the perfect partnership between a high-res and lightning-fast display. Shake. There's up to 2 TB of NVMe SSD in RAID 0 and 32 GB of DDR5 memory. That's a lot. So that is the nitty-gritty of it, but now let's just admire how good it looks. I'm not done. So in terms of the chassis, it's still this really deep pitch black color with a mostly aluminium build. The trackpad is still beautifully big, it's glass coated, so it's very smooth as well. But I think the biggest change here is the lighting, and actually I think we have one of the older Helios 18s or 16s from last year. I'm gonna get it, we're gonna compare. Yes, we do. I'm out of breath. Both of them are heavy. Oh yeah. The new one. I'm sorry, you are great. They've also changed, funnily enough, the little metal Predator logo here. It's gone from being silver to being black, which just looks really nice. It blends in very nicely with the chassis. But the main addition to the front side of things is that you get this little techie Predator logo that we've seen in the new Tritons, and now it's also in the Helioses as well. And then on the back, this I like. So they've changed the RGB from this kind of like industrial cybernetic kind of design to this one, which is a really clean look. They call it the infinity mirror, and I get why, because when you look at it from the top down, the LEDs just seem to go on forever. They have this really cool depth effect. But above that, and that's by far my favorite new addition, is the almost holographic looking RGB Predator logo. I've played around with the lights, and the lights for the back, this logo and this infinity mirror, the light shows are really cool. They look really nice. Keys are also perky backlit with anti-ghosting, and the third most exciting thing after the processor and after all the RGB is this little gift that comes in the Helios packaging. Let me find it. Where did I put it? So it's not cufflinks or a fancy matchbox. It's actually magnetic WASD keys. You get 2 alternative pairs in the box. I currently have some in right now, and I'm so excited to try these out for gaming because the top ones, I like to call these the accuracy ones. I think they're to help with accuracy because there's a little divot in the center where your finger would go, and there's ridges around the outside to stop your fingers from slipping, which must make the keys below them precision keys. These are all names I've come up with myself because when you look at the back of the key, there's like this extra sensor for more precision in your movement. So I assume when you're playing shooters, it's a little bit more sensitive to the little micro movements, and also maybe when you're playing racing sims. I've been told they are specifically for shooters and racing sims, so I'm excited to try these out. I find playing racing games with just a regular keyboard almost impossible. I want no comments about women drivers, please. And there's also this little device at the bottom, which I'll be honest, took me wholly too long to figure out what the heck it was for. I also asked nearly everyone else in the office, and they didn't know what it was for. What is this? This is a magnetic device to safely replace the keycaps. So it clips on because they all have magnetic backs on the keys, so you can quite easily swap them out without hurting yourself or the keys. And just like in last year's model, there's replaceable vent covers, one in a sexy metal effect, kind of titanium black color, and another one is just like a really boring gray, which suck. Predator do encourage spray painting it in whichever color you want. Paints are not included with the Helios. All right, I'm gonna open it up because I actually don't know what the cooling system is like inside. This is a brand new laptop. This is fresh out of the box. I have no information about this whatsoever, apart from what I've figured out as the day's gone on. So I'm gonna open it up, see what's inside, and then we're gonna get into some gaming. So straight off the bat, I was not able to open it up. I had 2 jobs. Usually all of the laptops are standard screws, and I brought a collection of tools with me. But no, look, I even roped in JW, who is our resident tinkerer, so if he can't open it, no one can. I think this was due to it being an engineering sample. This was one of the very first Helioses ever, as it had completely different screws. This threw me for a loop because all of the Predator laptops all have standard screws. However, since this video was made, I recorded it a very long time ago. I have new information on cooling, so behold said information. Inside there are dual fans, both using Predator's AeroBlade technology, their 5th generation. These are metal fans with teeny tiny blades and ridges for all of the airflow. There's also vector heat pipes and liquid metal thermal grease on the CPU to keep it cool. The Helios is very good at cooling, very good. There is no other laptop that can do cooling quite like the Helios. I stand by that. Now let's get into the gaming. First off, playing Starfield and Cyberpunk, some graphically heavy ones to test out the frames. Oh good, at least the caps lock is on. Both of these I played at the highest resolution, so that's 2.5K with ultra settings and ultra ray tracing for Cyberpunk as well. Getting around 65 frames per second in Starfield and 80 in Cyberpunk. Very nice. It looked gorgeous. Keycap time, that's not in focus. Okay, so swapping it out is pretty fun, but it is kind of like when wireless headphones first came out, because when you have them all loose in your hand, I don't know, I just don't really trust myself with them. See what I mean? Okay, snack time over. On to Counter-Strike. First, I tried with the accuracy keys and then the precision ones. Also, I found out the official name of them. They're actually called Mag Speed and Mag Click. Anyway, so the precision keys are the ones that are designed for shooters, as they have a mechanical switch with a short key travel for faster actuation of 0.2mm. I definitely see how this would be beneficial, but I sort of ended up with my fingers kind of dancing on the keyboard because it was so sensitive and I am not used to it. But if you are a seasoned player, this would absolutely be for you. Next, I tried them with Forza, and I like the sensitivity here. I feel like this helped me out. I crashed barely ever. Whee! Turning generally felt more responsive, and just from an aesthetic note, I really like how these ones light up. It looks like a party for your fingers. Anyway, let me know what you think of the Helios 16 and 18 down below with the new specifications, the new keycaps and design. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Are we gonna crash? Are we gonna crash? One last crash.